Hi, this is Unlimited Access. My name is Levi.
I'm Shannon.
And what we're trying to talk about is the daily challenges of being a caregiver to a family member.
Yeah.
So, Shannon, you have experience with this. This is something that you've lived with. And what we really want to do today is just kind of go through some of the options, solutions, and what are things we can do to help them and address that. So let's just start with the beginning. What are some of the common challenges that caregivers face with a family member?
The big question, and it is evolving right now within the industry, because caregiver can mean a caregiver of a child, caregiver of a parent, caregiver of a friend. That part has stayed pretty stable. What is your caregiver? But your challenges have evolved from what used to just be as being part of the family and feeding them and clothing them, making sure they get sleep. And when your parent needs some help at night, you might help them. If they can't remember what they're doing, you help them remember. Our population has gotten very sick, and our resource shortage is continuing to grow. So we're becoming, as caregivers, our job description is evolving without knowing that. So you don't get a promotion at your work without knowing what the job description is. And then you say, can I get paid for that? What's happened is it's evolved from your day-to-day life to taking care of the health, taking care of sometimes the finances, depending on the age, navigating the healthcare system, which obviously is my big passion, because my role went from being a daughter who helped navigate just things that I knew about technology. So as an example, I took care of my mom and dad. I helped them with technology because that was my background. But then they got sick and there was nobody to help them. And all of a sudden you've got this problem within the healthcare system. And now you feel the blast of the healthcare system, which is struggling as well to take care of you and help your parent. And they need your help to take care of your parent. So our job description has evolved. And so the challenges come down to not understanding the healthcare community, not understanding, we're not trained in medical help, what we talk about now, caregiver intervention on the medical side, make sure that, somebody who's got a chronic illness like diabetes is eating the right plan. We didn't have to do that 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. They could eat whatever they wanted. And we didn't know that. So now we're becoming a family caregiver / medical caregiver that brings on a whole new education that we don't have, a knowledge of how to navigate the system. What do you do when you can't get into the ER because it's overbooked? Now I've got to figure out how to save my parent. I saved my mom's life 3 times because she went septic. I wasn't prepared for that. So then that dovetails to you're exhausted, you're failing, you're guilty, you're not doing enough. Financially, you start to strain. It's just this kind of, it's a snowball effect, because your job description has changed and you're not prepared for it. So brings on mental health challenges. You're exhausted. Who can hop in and help? You're asking your sisters, families, somebody else to help. There's groups that do caregiver respite now because you're so exhausted taking on this new medical role that you didn't plan on. And there's still, you have to be fair, there's still the medical people, medical personnel, nurses, but they're giving you non-traditional medical tasks that you're just not prepared for. Right. So it brings a lot of exhaustion with it.
Well, so with all of these challenges that they face day to day, it's all new to us.
Yeah.
What are some of the resources that are available?
So there's a lot of resources all over the place. And that's part of why we ended up doing My Health Hatch, because there are resources. You just have to take the time to learn them. So if you look at Office of the Aging, New York State, great resource. They just launched an online tool that says, okay, here are your resources. Who do you call if you need somebody to help your parent? I wish I had this. I didn't know what 211 was when I had my mom. Well, that you can call that line and find out what the senior resources are for you. So you don't have to personally pay to get your mom from A to B or your dad from, B to C. There are transportation resources. There's so many resources out there, but they're everywhere. And you either have to physically go to the Office of the Aging to find them, or you have to go online. And then there's resources. If you bucketize it, there's resources of education. Okay, you're a diabetic. What does that mean? It's a great picture of all of the things that go on. And it's the brain of a diabetic and the brain of a normal person. The normal person has, they think about their health 10% of the time. or the diabetic, and everything else is hobbies and life and quality of life and your family. Diabetic has to think about all of these things: their sugar levels, their diet, their eyes, their feet, their this, their that, and their ability to have fun is this big. And so they brought out all these apps and resources to help the diabetics try to address that. But again, it's you have to go find it online. You got to research it. You have to know what app it is. You have to see it on advertising. So there's a lot of really good resources everywhere, depending on what your particular situation is or your family member's situation is. You just have to go look for it.
Well, you're obviously passionate about this.
I am. Yes.
You're fired up.
Yes.
If you could talk to a caregiver right now and get them to join us, what would you say?
So we really, there's a lot of resources out there, but they're not easy to find. It takes a lot of time. You're not alone, I would say. We're here to help. Our goal is to bring all those resources into one place. It starts with the foundation of records and understanding what that case is, and then building on that with these resources. And we see them out there. There's lots of organizations that are helping push this, but we really need a good, passionate group of people with a noise level of we really need to get resources for these caregivers, because the caregivers are spending so much time trying to find it. So we're looking for people to join us in our cause. When we talk to the different caregiver organizations, we talk to government all the time. We talk to investors is a big thing, getting attention for caregivers, that we need those resources to be consolidated and put in one place. We need to I was on a show an investor event, and they said the reason people haven't put more money into startups is because there's not enough people yelling for it. So we need you to come help us yell for it.
Well, thank you again, Shannon. With unlimited access, what we're trying to do is just address the needs of the caregiver. We believe at My Health Hatch that if you have access to all of your records, your data, and education and information, you're going to make better health decisions. So this is unlimited access. Would you like and subscribe? Please, join us in this cause to really find solutions for the industry. Find solutions that will help you make those decisions for your better health.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Come join us.